Hey everyone, this is Savanna with HealthTeam Advantage. Today we're going to be doing another cooking demonstration, and we're going to be doing a breakfast recipe, a little fall take on some breakfast cookies with some apple butter, oatmeal breakfast cookies. So today, these are all of my ingredients that I have lined up here behind me. For this, you're going to need 2 cups of rolled oats. So for that, I have some Kodiak protein oats. Just add some protein in there and some fiber as well. We're going to need 1 cup of white whole wheat flour. And I couldn't find the white whole wheat flour, so I just got whole wheat flour. It's going to be relatively the same thing. We need 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. We're going to need 1 teaspoon of baking soda. We're going to need 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And then we're going to need 1 large tart apple. Now I have 2 here. These are just Granny Smiths. They weren't very big though, so I think I'm going to do 1.5 of these. We are going to peel and core these and cut them up into tiny diced pieces. We're also going to need 1/2 cup of raisins. And we're going to need 2/3 cup of apple butter. Now, I know as far as the apple butter goes, that's kind of high in sugar. So if you're watching your sugars, if you're diabetic, maybe don't add the apple butter. This just happens to be pumpkin butter from Trader Joe's. I just had it in my fridge by happenstance. But usually I would be using the same amount of unsweetened applesauce. Okay? Same exact amount unsweetened applesauce. And that will cut down on the sugars that you get from the apple butter, but you can certainly use this as well. Right? So then we got 2 eggs. We'll need 2 eggs in this recipe as well. And 1/4 cup of an oil. So I have vegetable oil here, or you could use melted coconut oil as well. So those are going to be our ingredients that we're going to add. And we also need maple syrup. I don't know if I added that. 1/4 cup maple syrup. We'll need all those ingredients. And I will show you all the ingredients when it comes together. I'm also preheating my oven to 350 degrees. So I'm going to get all of my dry ingredients together, all my wet ingredients together, and show you what that looks like. So I have finished dicing my apple. I ended up cutting up about 1.5 apples just because it wasn't very big. But the way that I did that is I obviously peeled my apple, and then I just cut down each side around the core. And you can see that I'm not using this side. After that, I end up with something like this. And then I just cut it into slices like this. Then once they're in the slices, I will then cut them across that way to get diced apples. And they end up being about this size, so pretty tiny, just small enough to feed the dachshund that is right underneath my feet, who will love that snack as well. So we're going to add these apples and also the dry and wet mixtures. So I have just poured my wet ingredients into my dry ingredient bowl. From here, I'm just going to mix this around until it is it forms together. And then I'm going to let it sit for about 5 minutes until it really softens my oatmeal a little bit more. So again, about 5 minutes, and then we will make our cookie balls to go on our cookie sheet. This is what our batter looks like after it is mixed. It is now sat for about 5 minutes, and at this point I have my lined baking tray. I've sprayed it. So now what I'm going to do is roll these into balls and then smush them down. You can make these as big or as small as you want. I'm going to make them about medium sized, and I'll show you what that looks like. So now I have my cookies spread out. This is about what they look like. Again, you want to flatten them out. They're not going to rise or spread out when you're baking them, so you don't have to worry about that. I'm going to pop these in the oven for 12 to 15 minutes until they're lightly golden brown on top, and begin to kind of like split apart just a little bit on the top. So I'll be right back when they're done. Our breakfast cookies are done, and they look and smell delicious. So they ended up being pretty big. I don't know if you can tell how big that is by like the size of my hand, but They smell absolutely delicious. And again, you can substitute anything you would like. So if you wanted to substitute the raisins, you could do that. You don't have to put them in. If you want to substitute the apple butter for unsweetened applesauce or applesauce, you can certainly do that as well. These are super easy to throw in a baggie when they're cool and to just grab and go for breakfast in the morning. Like I said, with some boiled eggs, maybe some yogurt, maybe some protein powder, and you have a really balanced breakfast with a lot of fiber in it. So this is a fantastic, fantastic breakfast for your busy morning. So thank you all for tuning in. Hope to see you again. Thanks.